All right, folks, who's got their last remaining rubles on the big man in the funny hat? Pope Francis for Time's Person of the Year 2025. What? Are we betting on him finally revealing the Vatican's actual balance sheet? Or just trying to divine some meaning in your utterly worthless portfolios? Because frankly, the only miracle I see here is someone genuinely believing this is a sound investment. You're not gambling, you're just paying for indulgence, you sad, pathetic souls. All right, you beautiful degens are throwing money at whether Jensen Huang, the AI chip king, gets Time's Person of the Year in 2025. Because, sure, who needs stability or a functioning planet when you can speculate on magazine covers? Forget wars, famines, or societal collapse. The real question is whether the guy who made GPUs cool again gets to pose for a glossy photo. Time magazine, the pinnacle of cultural relevance, anointing another tech billionaire while the world burns. Classic. What a time to be alive and betting on this garbage. All right, folks, so we've got Xi Jinping out in 2025 on PolyMarket. Consensus of credible reporting, they say. Yeah, because China's just known for its transparent, unbiased media, isn't it? You're essentially betting on a black box, fueled by rumours and the wet dreams of think tank analysts. And for what? A few bucks? While the rest of us are left to wonder if our retirement funds will survive the ensuing global adjustments. Good luck refreshing Weibo, you ghoulish little chaos tourists. Hope you like your profits served with a side of geopolitical instability. In the week between December 5th and 12th, 2025, Elon Musk didn't just tweet, he hosted a digital blizzard on X, officially turning his main feed into a high-throughput information fire hose. The market that tracked his post count was essentially a sophisticated wager on how many times one man could type before his fingers caught fire. With a staggering 90.1% chance, he fired off between 440 and 459 posts. The fact that 460 to 479 posts was a mere 9.2% probability only proves that even a billionaire polymath needs to sleep for at least 3 minutes a day, preventing him from hitting the glorious 500 post mark. Basically, he used X for a week straight, and the data is screaming. We are going to need a bigger server farm. Well, it looks like the great debate of will Time's Person of the Year for 2025 be a woman was settled rather decisively back on December 11th, 2025. The market gave the architects of AI a 100.0% chance of winning, which is generally what happens after the winner is announced, not before. So, the short answer is no. The 2025 winner was officially announced as a group, and the only woman in the running might be whatever gender identity the next iteration of ChatGPT decides to adopt. Mystery solved. 2 years too late. All right, folks, nothing quite gets the blood pumping like betting on the precise bureaucratic wording of a global tragedy. Official ceasefire by 2025? You're not just gambling on peace, you're gambling on two entrenched powers suddenly deciding to agree on a press release. Good luck finding that consensus. Better odds betting on whether your grandpa remembers where he parked. So, what price will Bitcoin hit in 2025? According to the financial gurus, it's either $100,000 or $250,000, which is about as helpful as asking a magic 8-ball that just shrugs and says, ask again later, or maybe never. Meanwhile, the crypto Twitter crowd is still firing off $200,000 plus predictions, fueled by copious amounts of hopium, dreams of rate cuts, and the deep, abiding faith that this time it's going to the moon, despite PolyMarket's cold, hard odds, suggesting the rocket has been quietly downgraded to a slightly less cool hot air balloon. The moral of the story? Bitcoin in 2025 will either make you rich or make you update your resume. Maybe both.
All right, folks, strap in for Hurricanes vs. Capitalism. Sounds like either a climate disaster or a political coup, but no, it's just men in pajamas chasing a puck. And if it's canceled, you get a glorious 50-50 split, because nothing screams sophisticated investment strategy like gambling on glorified ice ballet, only for it to devolve into a coin flip. Meanwhile, your actual portfolio is probably doing a lot worse. Enjoy your digital pennies optimism.